Hi there, good day, and welcome to the Green and Gold podcast, where we talk all things rugby and all things green and gold. I'm Wasim Fredericks, and by now you should know our co-host.
Said Mohammed, I think it's before I do my whole introduction, I think we have a fellow guest with us today, Mr. Fredericks.
Indeed, indeed. We'll ask him to introduce
That will be
himself.
me.
Yeah, I think he's muted, so we'll ask him to unmute himself.
That would be nice.
Yeah, it happens every now and then. Curtis Kutu on the side, guys, joining these guys in, talking about green and gold, seeing if we can get that the nice momentum build up to that whitewash for this year. Hey, what are we saying there,
Mm.
Saeed?
I think
I think
very exciting. We were heading to. Of course, I don't want to jump in too quickly with the match 23, but Mr. Fredericks, if you are still there, I think what are your views on this past game,
Yeah, I think you're right.
Curtis?
Before we get to the match 23, we need to try to decipher the mathematics behind why we have this match day 2023. And I think it's a lot to do with the performance that we saw over this weekend, which I'm going to sound a bit arrogant and too confident in the Springboks. I don't know if these are the right words that I'm using, but I was upset, man. I was really upset because it's not what I expected. I knew I'm not going to get a game like we would have had against Ireland or New Zealand or any of the top three in the world. But at least I wanted to see a whitewash, a display of what they've been doing in training, is what I wanted to see. A proper highlight reel of 80 minutes. And I
Yeah,
I
yeah,
I
yeah.
never saw that. Did you see
I
that?
think for me personally, it was actually disturbing to watch,
Mm.
and unacceptable at the same time. I had this conversation with Curtis, I think, on Monday. Yeah, and I was just like, it's so gutted to see at this particular time and play, right? Where the era of Springbok era that we're in. Do we have to sit? We have to settle for mediocre rugby.
Mm-mm.
And the
Unacceptable.
experience of the squad, this experience of the squad, the depth in the squad, the coaching lineup, and then to go onto Loftus Veerveld, to the IFL, and produce a mediocre game like that. I don't know. Curtis, what do you have to say about that, man? What was your views of that game?
I echo you guys' comment. If I if we're trying to remove the arrogance from it, right? And let's just put facts on the table. We are back-to-back world champs. We barely lose a game. When we do, it's close. We are the rugby championship title holders.
Indeed.
Italy finished fifth on the Six Nations. Italy has won one game against Wales. And where's Wales right now? So if we just compare these two things statistically, without any arrogance on the table or anything, guys, that was not the performance we were expecting. It's not arrogance, it's the stats. These guys, and I think this is, as I mentioned to Said earlier, this is as much as we know, Rusty likes to tell guys, stay humble, stay in the zone. I don't think that translated. The guys
Yeah.
went onto that field thinking they already won the game.
Mr. Kluter, if I can add on that, and it's not even a matter of lack of skill set or lack of structure. It's the problem that I had was the lack of effort that I could see. There was an
Mm.
instance, and by no means I don't want to be putting any players on the spot or anything like that. But there was an instance, and what was for me the decider in terms of how I was meant to feel after that game was there was an instance where Andre had an approaching 50-22, right? And I think he was within reach to try and stop that from actually happening. And he just let his head down and looked at the ball come into the 22 and then eventually make its away and then eventually make it its way out. And to me, it was just a matter that, if it was a Mani or if it was a Komazulu, would that have also happened, or is there just a lack of a desperation from his end? Yeah, that for me was just
Well, see, to add on to that, I had the same feeling. It was just with, I don't know, some may justify and say otherwise, and we'll leave that to the comments and the keyboard warriors. I felt Pollard had a bad game, right? But I also felt that number nine, Monet
on the bed.
van der Berg, he also the connection, though he got player of the match, right? But his connection between the forwards to the backs, he just could not get that going.
Yeah,
And then we can also can put focus on our back, not getting us the front ball as well. Um, but the most experienced side, and like Rasi said in his press conference, is that it was our most experienced side. So it was also perhaps it was easy for Italy to actually analyze, which I don't think is an excuse. Don't get me wrong.
Hmm.
But you have a pack, you have a bomb squad that's coming on. The bomb squad did not ignite at all.
Not
It was stagnant, just there, couldn't get going. Um, one or two little, of course, Cheslin and Kirtley, Damien
yeah.
Willems had probably the most runs on the field
It is
meters.
made as well. Yeah.
But I don't know, man. The scoreline doesn't speak for what truly the game was about. And I know Curtis mentioned earlier that we lost our second half. I don't know, maybe Curtis want to touch on that.
I think it's as everybody mentioned. We touched a lot on the game. We went in 28-3 at halftime, and we thought we might get what we wanted, although a scrappy performance, but we might get that score line, right? And then the second half was just something else. And the bomb squad, I don't even think we can speak. I think Russia should just get back to a 7-1 so we can do things properly, eh? The 6-2
Yeah.
is not working for us anymore. Let's just get things proper and done with.
Yeah.
But no, I think we are within our right to be angry. We expected and we got disappointed. And I think we could see in the press conference, Rusty himself was angry. Not disappointed, we are angry, guys. But let's just put ourselves in a different mindset. We went out there, we won a game, and we're sitting here being angry. So let's be privileged. Let's be happy about this.
I
Let's look
can't.
forward. Let's see these
We have a
guys.
high
They came out,
standard.
they got the W. We won scrappy. It's a shame it wasn't versus Italy, but let's not take it away from Italy either. These guys has been showing they're trying to compete with the big dogs. They're showing in the Six Nations. Other than France, they were competing. So although we're not playing against their A team, that's another consideration over here. A lot of names missing, but we expected more. But we'll see what happens. Maybe the guys come out firing properly in this weekend to come. Maybe this is the light that bomb squad needed.
Tell you what, I'm willing to, provided that they look a bit more well rested this weekend, or a little more fueled. I'm willing to write last week's game off as a first run out of the year, provided that we expect to see what this weekend, Mr. Mohammed. What are you really looking out for?
Hey, I'm very excited. What a team announcement that was given. First and foremost, I think just me touch on what Curtis said. When in our Springbok supporting life and career, could we be this upset after a win? We'll always say we got the W, we'll take it. We're moving on to the next. But yeah, be that as it may, the team announcement came out yesterday around about I think just after 12, 1 o'clock. Rasi came out with the announcement. Exciting changes. Uh, 12 changes, I think. 12 changes was made to the
That's
starting lineup. Well deserved opportunities.
Hmm.
But I'm very excited to see the chemistry and the young ones coming onto the field. The Edwin van der Merwe first coming on. Ethan Hooker getting his debut. I know Curtis will talk about Ethan Hooker. He's a big fan of Ethan Hooker.
Hmm.
And of course, we've predicted this with Rassi saying within these 4 matches that has come up for the incoming series, he was going to give each player a minimum of 2 games to play,
Mm.
right? So we probably see Ronnie van der Berg and he's done now. We won't be seeing him next week again because he played his 2 games,
Yeah.
which I feel like is quite mid, and I'm happy to see Grant back. But Salman taking the reins of the leadership. Is he the best lock that we have? Probably not, but a very brilliant leader, and we've seen him lead Baby Books and the Stormers at time to time. And towards the end of the UFC season, he did up his physicality, and so excited to see that.
100%.
Excited to see Cobus Visa getting his debut, getting his first cap. Grant coming back into the setup. Willie getting his 100. Come on. That should actually be
Well
our
deserved.
clickbait, man.
Really, really
With
well deserved. Speaking
oh,
of
well
which,
deserved. But
speaking of which, I don't know about you guys, but do any of you have a top Havali Leroux moment? Do you guys have I mean, the guy has been playing for since like 2013 now. Does anyone just have like a Vali highlight?
I don't know. I think it would probably be if I can say my highlights of value. I thought there's so many. There's so many. I think it's these last passes and last touches with Willie just
Yeah.
countering on the counter attack. To be honest, I don't know. There's so many. Curtis, I don't know.
When Willie was rocking onto the scene, guys, when Willie came on from the Cheetahs on
Mm,
the wing,
he was so. Oh,
he was nicknamed, branded Willie the Magic LaRue.
mm.
That is the Willie that I will
I
remember.
remember. Yo,
The guy that
everyone.
made nothing and
Yo,
then just magic happens thereafter. You'll have some nice runs against the All Blacks specifically. That he came off the wing, joined the line, chip, dummy, lost pass. Not a lot of tries, but the lost
yeah,
pass, quite a lot of them.
yeah.
Willie was quite brilliant in his early days, matured, and now he's the calm head on the field. Well, although when you look at Willie on the field, you don't think that's a calm head. But we'll let the coaches know what they're doing. And
That's
yeah,
exactly. That's
I think
exactly
he
it.
had quite a long run to get to his hundreds. We obviously
Mm.
know there was like in between breaks, but well done to if I actually get there, just to keep pushing. Coaches had faith in him. Came back, played for the Bulls, proud Bulls supporter, and he showed what he does. So I think well deserved, really. You got there. I know him and Faf were competing about the man of the match for the memes during the 2019 World Cup, but we stuck with him all the way. Got another World Cup under the bag, and here we are facing Italy.
100%. If I could just extend on that, I think Vali was just when I was still in high school, he was just like the most running um Reds looking, when I say Reds, I refer to like the Super Rugby Reds. He was our most flair Springbok man, and he was just what us youngsters at the time was like looking for. He had the step, he had the goose, he had a light goose. It was a light goose that he had when he just started. And if I can just highlight, I actually have two highlights. Regarding Willie, and the first one has to be his read on, I think it was Geordie Parrott's quick line out in 2018.
Spot on,
I
Mr.
think it was in
Fredericks. Oh my goodness.
Wellington. His read from the quick line out, which ultimately I think had a big impact on the game. And then the second one is probably in the most recent World Cup 2023, and especially I like the fact that you highlighted Mr. Kluter that he doesn't always appear to have a cool head, because I think the famous scrum call by Willemse against France is a ice cold a moment, right? But if you look a week later, when the Springboks played against Italy, we got another no, when the Springboks played against England. I'm just thinking about Italy here. There was another opportunity for a mark in that last. I think it was about 12 minutes of that game when we were still behind, and Willie was on the field, right? And he also wanted to call a mark, but he was doing it in such a stressful way. I don't know if you can remember. It wasn't nearly as cool as what Willemse did it
Damien
in.
was
Yeah, and I think Rassi highlighted in the week actually, and it's the thing that always lingered in my head. We know that Willie is originally a VP guy, and I've always wondered why he's never been at the Stormers. And I think in the week, Rassi actually clarified that, it was because of Rassi that he never played in the Stormers, because of the way in which he used to react. And I think maybe to an extent, the way which he scolded at the players on the field. And he was just always a very angry looking a guy. But then, eventually Rassi clarified that it's because he loves the game as much. And that's why, we see him get to celebrate 100 games for the Springboks this weekend. So an absolute legend. And yeah, we'd like to see what the
part
future
of
holds
the
for
it's
Willie.
part of the same centurion group, and I don't think anyone can really be so proud of really hitting that point. Of course, with the competition that's coming up now with him against Apelele Fassi and Damien Willems, but there's still the wisdom and the vision that Willie brings. I don't think we're gonna see
100%.
someone of his in very soon. However, new 10s starting, Mani on the 10, very exciting. Showed us a bit of stability against Barbarians.
Yeah.
Very excited for him to maybe bring that type of that good momentum, positive momentum to international test. Excited to see Grant come back in. And then of course Mampimpi and Edward van der Merwe to actually get like a true test of rugby. I think
Yes.
the last time we saw him
A
play was
proper test. The Qatar Airways against Wales.
Wales. There we go. Yeah. So very exciting. It's just unfortunate that he's up against two goats.
Yeah.
uh, Cheslin Colbert, Curtly Arendse. But very excited to see what's happened since the celebration this weekend of 30 years of the since winning the 1995 World Cup. So we're looking for big celebrations. But Curtis, what's your comments on the team?
Um, you know, if last week went how we wanted it to go, then my most exciting thing for this week was to see if Mane will kick 100% again. But now we're
Mm,
going to be looking at a little bit more.
Asking
Touched
for
on
a
the
lot.
backline there quite a lot. We are very excited. We obviously know Cheslin, Curtly Arendse, one of the bests out there. So these guys are effectively competing for their third choice wing over here. Mapimpi has been showing good form. He's showing I'm not out yet. I'm still fighting. Edward Merwe, his last game was a man of the match performance in the Springbok jersey. Will he continue that? Will he crack or will he come to the party? I think he's the type of guy who will bring it for us. And then I think the most exciting thing is we are testing that absence of that 13 jersey. Who is going to fill that void? We have that's been reoccurring with injuries. It's not the first time, it's been coming, and then we might need to think who is that third 13, maybe taking the second place. I don't think Jesse's going anywhere from number one, but is it Kanan Moody? Is Ethan Hooker going to come in on 13 and do it for us? Um, we are hoping, and the way we've been solving a problem in recent times is we've shifted Damian Dialinde from 12 to 13 to cover whenever that happens. We saw it in the World Cup. We saw it in previous games where we lose during the game. We need someone to cement that number 2 spot now, someone to cement it for the future. Early 20s, Kanan Moody, come on, boy, put your hand up, do what you need to do, wear that Bulls jersey, do the green and gold proud. That's a backline. You want to take us there? Any insights you have there? What's seen from the forwards for us?
Well, I just wanted to add on your Moody statement. He'll take the Blue Bulls jersey to the 13 position only because you got to him before the Stormers could. But as we move along, um, um, one thing I'm super hyped about is my man, Player of the Year, IRB Player of the Year, Peter Steph du Toit,
Ah,
which I'm really hoping is gonna have a big game, right? I don't exactly see how Vincent Tetsuka is anywhere near playing him out of his spot. So I'm the one to be proven wrong this weekend. So let's hope he's going to prove me wrong. And then at six is actually a discussion I wanted to have with you guys. What do we make of, and we've seen him for 2 weeks in a row now, Mr. Marco van Staden. Is that our is
ooh,
that our fixed Sia Kolisi replacement?
I don't know, eh? I know Kurt is probably gonna bite my head off here because it's a Bulls man, but he does the dirty work, but he's not as explosive as I think I would want my six to be. Um, but the next question is, who do we play at six though? But I'm just gonna step out of the room quickly, and I would like Curtis maybe to give his verdict, but I just need to go to another meeting room, and then we can carry on. But I'll stay on here.
Okay, awesome. So did you see what you needed to see from Marco van Staden?
Um, Look, Marco, I think is doing us what he's supposed to do, right? We need a fetcher. He's a good fetcher. We need someone that racks up the tackles. He does that. You just don't see him as much as you would like, as Saeed mentioned, the flair. Uh, and I think a big name that we are missing that could have filled that six void is Cameron Hanekom, another Bulls player over there.
Hmm.
Um, but I think he does what he needs to do. The only the only guy we're probably in the squad that we will pick above him at six is Quagga Smith. But I mean, Quagga Smith is the nucleus, the core of that bomb squad. So that's
Exactly.
that's why we retain him on that bench spot over there. Marco is bringing it. Marco has done nothing to get him out of the team, but there's definitely room for someone to come and show that I can do this and more.
When you
Um,
say that
so
there's room, right? In that room, I can agree with you that Marco he definitely does the dirty work. I mean, I'm pretty sure if you look at his stats, how many racks he hits. But you know what I'm feeling that a number six must have, and what I'm really missing is you stated that we've got a fetcher in Marco van Staden, but what we really need is a tackler, someone who can go over the ball and steal us balls in clutch moments like you would have got from maybe a Dion or a Flo or a Vermeulen. And I know I'm highlighting VP guys now, and I don't do it with any kind of malice in my heart or anything like that. But what we need, we need a Jackala. Winloss has marks, stole a ball. You see,
That's
that's
true,
um,
what I'm
eh?
trying to get at.
Yeah,
I,
I think
I,
I can add to that. Actually, yeah. So that is what you're saying. Those are game-winning moments, eh? Guys that can do those for us. I think Marco has the potential to do that. I think what we are missing right now in our squad is where we had multiple positions doing exactly that. Like I said, we are missing a hooker where Mox used to do that for us. Um, we had Steven Kitsov, who was a brilliant
Brilliant.
fetcher as well. Um, and we used to get when Quaha comes off the bench along with Malcolm Marks. That was game-winning moments we came through. So, truly saying, a guy that can show that he can do that consistently in clutch moments. There's a guy that is the successor to that number six jersey.
100%. And
yeah.
then I
Sorry,
think,
you
yeah,
guys,
yeah,
you guys spoke about the hooker. I was just thinking about how poor Bongi had a game this weekend. My goodness,
yeah.
shocking. Sorry, man.
Yes.
I know we're talking about the team, but I was just in utter. You're missing lineouts, skew. Your two-time World Cup winning hooker. Come on,
I'm
man.
willing. I'm
What?
willing to.
Sorry, man, guys. I'm
No,
so
no.
upset.
Look, and it's crucial that we speak about it because we want to know as we get to the front row and we're nearly there, and maybe you guys can just have it there in your heads in the meantime. Who is our number two? Huh, our number two, our second choice number two. Right? Just you can let it linger in your heads there in the meantime. Jasper Visser. I think he's been hard. He's been doing his job. He's been running hard. He's been at the racks. He's been making his hits. I can't say that there's anything wrong with him. It would be really cool to see this weekend. Him obviously get a run out with his brother, right? So that will also be another, another full circle moment. Um, but I don't know if there's anything you guys wanna add. I just think he's been flawless and exactly what I need from a number
Yeah.
eight.
I think yeah, he's been doing a decent job. I think just the sad reality is, and I think yourself and Curtis would agree, it's just the number eight shoes that needs to be filled after doing. It's just possible. It's basically impossible for anyone to come in and fill that void. So he's doing an okay job.
Look, I'm always
Probably the most
reflective.
stable.
I'm always reflective on his breakaway run from the scrum in 2023 against All Blacks. I think I was unsure until that moment. But for me, the power, the
Yeah,
willingness to just move and secure the ball and hold on to it with
100%.
all of his might. That for me was the seal of the deal, but we might have Mr. Kluter over there with a name like Cameron Hanekom to kind of combat us. Um, yeah, but
Yeah.
for me, in my opinion, is hardcore.
Add to that, eh? So Jasper is in this unique position where he's now been given the opportunity to go and silent the critics to show that number eight jersey. He is very fortunate to be in this position because let me just give two names to you. You just mentioned one already, Cameron Hanekom. Everybody's talking about it within the URC. And I'll give a second name to you, John Rotrocky Augustus. Come on, guys, these
Mm.
are big names fighting for that jersey. And he has now the opportunity to show himself without their competition around. Those guys on the sidelines, those guys would have been pushing for that jersey right now. You would not have 80 minutes to go and prove yourself. Put your hand
As
up,
a
boy. Do what you need to do. You can't just be basic. We need more than basic. And we know we have more than basic in Hanekom and John Augustus. So my thing for Jasper
uh,
is you're a strong boy. Keep the leg drive up, but bring that penalty count down. And that has been always been the main thing, the penalty count. You can bring that down,
Cur-
and all the rest will
Cur-
come.
Curtis and Wasim, I think it's just unbelievable the depth and like I completely forgot about Hanukum and Augustus
Yeah.
Truki. Until you
Remember,
mentioned it now, and I was
remember
just like,
we've
what?
we've got
The
Ruiz
depth is
also
so
on the
unbelievable.
bench. We've got Ruiz on the bench this weekend as well, which I think also has a point to prove. For me, he didn't have the
100%.
greatness of URCs, but I mean, Rassi's decided that he's going to be in the squad again, whether it is as a result of injury or not. There are many eights that we could have
Mm,
that we could have obviously went with, but we've gone with Russ on the bench, so it's a big opportunity for him to go ahead and
yeah.
show them what he's made of. If we could go to the locks, and we've spoken about them earlier on, four, Mr. Salman, Murat, and five, Ruan Nokir. Just quickly, I think Ruan had a great run with the Springboks last year. I think he was trial and tested under immense pressure due to injury
Mm,
last year. And he's also had a little bit of an injury, right? But he's in the squad again, doing the things. So I think we're gonna expect a game from Ruan Nokia, but I think he's also put in quite a bit of work to make sure that his spot is pretty much secured as a plan. What is your plan G? A lock. But then we've got a big and there's been a big hype and hate, I think, about Salman that has been nominated for his second game as the captain of the Springboks. What do we make of the hate, and what do we expect to see from Salman this weekend?
I think if we can, I can just wrap this up very quickly. So for my side, Salman, as basically, I was to be a big fan of him. I was coming from a community where I'm from, but his leadership is amazing. But I just feel like he lacks that the traditional number four physicalityness, man.
Yeah.
And the reality is that is been already cemented in all of our heads of how a number four Springbok lock should be. So I think that doesn't really fall in his favor because he's not as physical as our regular number fours and he's more of a jumper and things like that. But in his recent games for the Stormers, he has shown a bit of a lot more physicalityness in it.
And
And
skill
of course,
set.
has been injury prone. 100% and has been about so I'm excited to see what he also has to silence the critics and silence people like myself. Ruan Luki, I don't need to speak about, he proved himself last year. He deserves it 100%. Just the reality is he's up against greats, Yeburn, Franco, Orgia, Load. It's not easy peaking in a time where the goats are also in the midst. Curtis, any comments?
A lot. Actually, South Africa is in this very positions. We've lost so many guys to injury early in the year, and they were still in the last when the last season ended up, and there still wasn't enough to unlock the box. We still had the needed locks in place. These two guys, I think, can come through. They're doing a lot. My only real concern is. We always you have that Ebenezer Beth, you have that Franco Monster, you have beef in that type.
Exactly.
I think these two guys are probably missing on that beef, and I'm hoping our scrums don't struggle because of that.
100%, yeah.
So
Look,
but with respect to jumpers, respect to their work ethic across the line, they need to come to the party. They can come to the party. They've shown it. They are unfortunately not the top four. We have, like I mentioned, we have Luot, we have Irvin, we have Franco Monster, we have Arge Snyman. We can just unlock them all. These guys
unlock. Excuse the pun. Excuse the pun. Yeah, unlock.
Yep.
Okay, and then to wrap it up, we've got the front row, and if I could just add on that real quick, I think Salman is in for a big a game this weekend. I think the way in which our game plan seems to be moving, the direction it seems to be moving in, I think it's going to be a big, it's going to count heavily in Salman's favor with that skill set, that Stormers offload that he just naturally infused into his bloodstream. Um, Saeed Mohammed, the front row and score predictions as we wrap up.
Oh, happy about the front row. Very excited. Thomas Satoy, the tank coming in. Valko showing his strong dominance in the scrum last week. Malcolm, no need to talk about Malcolm. Asenati, exciting cap to get this week. Fully deserved. Yeah, then Rick Vessels. Like I said, I don't even have to complain about our front rows. Absolutely amazing. Doing the job. Prediction, I'm going to be bold. I'm going to be bold, guys.
Okay.
I'm saying 50 up.
50 up.
Okay, I'll bring it down to 40. 40 up. 40 up. 40 up.
That is a big call, and I don't think you are off the mark on that call. You're within your rights to make that call. As we started off this chat, we're saying that should be the call. That should be the expectation.
Yeah.
I think we touched a lot on I think you touched enough on the front row for us. Basics. This is a South African front row. Bench as well as a starting. We have guys on the bench showing they want to prove themselves. Asenati getting his cap. Jan Hendrik Wessels showing that I'm coming on hooker now. I played prop last week. I'm coming on hooker this time. You can do it all. I think he's trying to cement himself in this squad as he's going to be there because he can flex like that. Irrespective of how good someone else is he stays consistent and he can play those both positions. He's cementing his spot. And that is the 15 for us. We're just going to slightly touch on the bench. And there's it's quite an. I think I'm much more excited for the bench actually, guys. Like I want to see even Ruiz come up and show us, Rasi, you were wrong to keep me out of the squad initially. I want to come see that. I want to see Ethan Hooker come and show why we've been asking for him to be in the box squad the whole time. And then we have our fly out, guys. I just want to ask you what is better than fine wine? You know, you have Andre Pollard is saying fine wine. What's better than fine wine? Fine book. Mbolo Zulu. That's what we're gonna get over here, guys. That's what I'm waiting for. Let's bring that bench.
Well done, Mr.
100%.
Curtis,
We
on that
can't
one.
wait.
Well done.
We can't wait to see what the weekend has in store for us. Guys, if you enjoyed the podcast, please do smash the like button. Let us know what you thought of the episode. And make sure you join us again this weekend. Interact with us and spread the love.